It was meant to be the ultimate royal fairy tale, a prince searching for love and a beautiful, modern, independent woman from across the Atlantic who captured his heart. The world watched as Prince Harry, once a rebellious spare, seemed to find his perfect match in Meghan Markle, the charismatic actress from Suits. Their romance was portrayed as spontaneous, serendipitous, and powerful enough to melt through centuries of royal tradition. Yet, behind the glow of royal weddings, Netflix deals, and humanitarian photo ops, a darker, more deliberate story has begun to unravel, one that traces back to a place hidden behind velvet curtains and champagne whispers, Soho House. For years, Soho House has served as a playground of the global elite, a private world where influence is traded through subtle glances and hushed conversations rather than press releases. It is a sanctuary for celebrities, politicians, and billionaires. Its no cameras, no publicity policy makes a paradise for those who crave visibility but demand secrecy. And it was within those secret walls that Meghan Markle's social transformation truly began. To Harry, the discovery came as a shock. What he believed was a fairy tale romance may have been years in the making, a careful climb through charm, strategy, and connection that started long before their so-called blind date. When insiders whispered that Meghan had long been part of the Soho House inner circle, Harry reportedly dismissed it as nonsense. But as more details emerged, connections, introductions, photographs, and testimony from those within that private network, even the prince, known for his stubborn loyalty, could no longer ignore the truth. The woman he married may have been playing a far more intricate game than he ever imagined. It wasn't fate that brought Meghan Markle to Prince Harry. It was networking, polished, deliberate, and orchestrated with precision. When Harry looked back at every chance moment, every organic encounter, every friendship that seemed to blossom naturally, one common thread kept reappearing: Soho House. This wasn't coincidence. It was a blueprint. To understand Meghan Markle's rise, one must first understand Soho House. Founded in London's Greek Street in 1995 by Nick Jones, Soho House was never just another members-only club. It became the modern aristocracy's favorite playground, a world where money, fame, and influence merged seamlessly. From the outside, it looked like a haven for creatives. But on the inside, it was a hierarchy of access, power, and privilege. Every handshake could change a career. Every introduction could open a door. Every dinner could rewrite a destiny. For Meghan Markle, an ambitious actress in her mid-30s, searching for more than fame, searching for significance, Soho House became a launch pad. Long before she became the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan was already maneuvering in circles far beyond the average Hollywood crowd. Her membership at Soho House Toronto, obtained through her close friend Marcus Anderson, granted her access to an entirely new echelon. CEOs, producers, socialites, and British aristocrats who frequented the club during filming seasons and international galas. Marcus Anderson wasn't just any friend. He was the key holder. As the global membership director and consultant for Soho House, he wielded quiet but immense influence. He decided who got in, who got noticed, and who remained invisible. Meghan wasn't invisible. She was positioned right at the center of this glittering, secretive ecosystem of power, and she used that access masterfully. Former members recall Meghan as always visible, always connected, always networking. Unlike other actresses who came to unwind, she came to build. She attended private screenings, exclusive dinners, and charity galas, events where British elites, journalists, and visiting royals often appeared. There were no cameras, no paparazzi, just a perfect environment for alliances to be forged in quiet confidence. Insiders claim Anderson wasn't merely her friend, but her mentor in navigating high society's unspoken rules. He introduced her to influential figures in London's media scene, some of whom would later become her most vocal defenders during early royal controversies. He taught her the art of appearing humble while calculating every social move. In Soho House circles, Meghan was known as magnetic, charming, intelligent, but deeply strategic. Those who knew her before her royal days insist her rise wasn't accidental. It was architected. She used the club's network to climb socially, not crudely, but elegantly. It was in those dimly lit lounges and private rooms that she began to rebrand herself. Not as an actress from a cable drama, but as a global humanitarian, a woman of influence and a voice for modern feminism. When the world saw Meghan at glamorous events or on red carpets, few realized that the foundation of her image had been meticulously built within the walls of Soho House. Even the famous blind date where she met Prince Harry was reportedly arranged by a friend within this same circle. Sources claim that introduction was not random. It was planned, curated, and possibly pre-approved through Soho House's tightly woven social web. For Harry, this revelation changed everything. The love story he once believed in, the idea of meeting a woman outside royal circles who truly understood him, might not have been spontaneous at all. It could have been the final act in a long, calculated performance. Every fairy tale has a beginning. For Meghan Markle, that beginning was not Windsor Castle, nor the film sets of Suits. It was a dimly lit members' club in Toronto, Soho House, described as suave, connected, and discreet. Anderson's name surfaces repeatedly in Meghan's rise to global prominence. The two met years before her royal romance, during her Suits filming era in Toronto. To the outside world, their friendship appeared ordinary, a social, outgoing actress and her charming confidant. But to those in the know, Anderson was far more than a friend. He was the architect of Meghan's social advancement, the silent strategist behind every crucial connection. Anderson possessed something Meghan desperately needed: access. He wasn't just a manager at Soho House. He was part of its very fabric, known for curating the club's most exclusive events. From private film screenings to gatherings of cultural elites, Marcus had the ear of everyone who mattered. Being in with Marcus meant being in with London, Hollywood, and New York simultaneously. For Meghan, who was ambitious, eloquent, and exceptionally skilled at social navigation, this friendship became transformational. Through Marcus, she met producers, stylists, and influential women like Jessica Mulroney, a bridge between North American celebrity circles and British high society. These weren't casual friendships. They were pieces of a puzzle that, years later, would align perfectly with her royal ascent. What truly raised eyebrows, however, was how omnipresent Anderson became in Meghan's life, both before and after she met Harry. When Harry and Meghan began dating, it was Anderson who reportedly coordinated their early secret meetings. He arranged private suites, quiet dinners, and carefully managed introductions away from the tabloids. He was the unseen hand, ensuring their relationship appeared spontaneous to the press, while being meticulously orchestrated behind the scenes. It was also Anderson who helped Meghan navigate her cultural transition from Hollywood to Kensington. When she faced royal advisors, etiquette lessons, and press briefings, Anderson was there, guiding her tone, posture, and messaging. His experience managing high-profile personalities within Soho House gave him unique expertise in polishing Meghan's image for elite consumption. Even after the royal wedding, Anderson remained quietly in the background. He was one of the few non-family members invited to the royal nuptials, a privilege that puzzled many within Britain's upper circles. Inviting a private club consultant to one of the most-watched weddings in modern history wasn't tradition. It was loyalty. It signaled that Anderson wasn't just a friend. He was integral to Meghan's story. In Montecito, where the Sussexes now reside, Anderson has been spotted multiple times. He has reportedly helped coordinate private gatherings, business introductions, and even select media appearances. The pattern continues. Wherever Meghan goes, Marcus follows, discreetly, efficiently, and strategically. Critics argue that Anderson's ongoing influence is telling. While the Duke of Sussex has drifted from many of his old friends and military allies, Marcus Anderson's bond with Meghan has only grown stronger. Some insiders whisper that Anderson represents not friendship, but continuity, a reminder of the world Meghan truly belongs to, and a network that built her image long before the palace ever did. For Harry, that realization cuts deep. It means that the foundation of his marriage, the story of how they met, how they bonded, and how they fell in love, might be more engineered than authentic. It means that the man he once thought was merely his wife's confidant may actually be the silent architect of the entire Meghan Markle phenomenon. And that's where the emotional fracture begins. Harry, once the most fiercely independent royal, now finds himself surrounded by Meghan's world, her friends, her advisors, her handlers, many of whom trace their origins back to one name, Marcus Anderson. The revelation of this connection has shaken not only public perception, but also private trust. What was once seen as a romantic, spontaneous whirlwind now looks increasingly like a playbook. One designed in quiet lounges of Soho House, executed through the charisma of Marcus Anderson, and perfected through Meghan's relentless self-reinvention. Behind the polished photographs, curated interviews, and choreographed appearances lies a world few have ever truly seen. The network that shaped Meghan Markle before she ever became the Duchess of Sussex. Soho House's first rule is silence. Its second is discretion. No phones, no cameras, no leaks. It's the ideal environment for those who wish to reinvent themselves or conceal who they once were. For Meghan, it was both. When Meghan first joined Soho House, she was a television actress, moderately known, but far from Hollywood's upper ranks. She was ambitious, intelligent, and determined to be more than a background name on a show's credits. But in Soho House, she discovered something else: opportunity. Every night, in that dimly lit atmosphere surrounded by entrepreneurs, producers, politicians, and aristocrats, she observed how influence truly flowed. She learned that success wasn't only about talent. It was about proximity. Former members of Soho House Toronto recall how Meghan would glide from table to table with purpose. She remembered names, causes, and personal details. She positioned herself as both charming and empathetic, the perfect balance for acceptance among the elite. Every conversation was intentional. Every introduction had meaning. To some, she was fascinating. To others, calculated. But it worked. Within months, Meghan was no longer just the actress from Suits. She became the woman everyone wanted to invite. She began receiving personal invitations to fashion events, charity dinners, and red carpet premieres. Her name appeared on guest lists alongside rising British influencers, creative directors, and financiers. She had successfully broken into a realm most American actresses never reach, the upper crust of Anglo-Hollywood society. What makes Soho House so potent is its function as a shadow network. Membership isn't about money alone. It's about reputation, alignment, and perceived value. Members are handpicked to enhance the club's image of creative influence. For Meghan, her growing entertainment profile and polished activism made her an ideal member, but her true rise came from mastering the art of quiet alliance. It was there she met individuals tied to British media, writers, editors, photographers, some of whom would later become sympathetic voices during her royal controversies. These weren't random connections. They were social investments, paid through charm, loyalty, and strategic influence. Insiders recall Meghan's uncanny ability to pivot conversations from casual to purposeful within moments. A simple dinner could evolve into a future opportunity. And through it all, her connection to Marcus Anderson made her untouchable. No one questioned her motives. No one suspected she was building a public image, one private exchange at a time. By the time Meghan met Prince Harry, her social reputation was immaculate. No trace of her Hollywood past. No remnants of her former lifestyle blog, The Tig, which once documented her musings on fame and fortune. Instead, she emerged as a polished humanitarian, poised, intellectual, and mysterious. Exactly the type of woman a disillusioned royal might fall for. The secrecy of Soho House provided her with the perfect veil. No one outside those walls could confirm what occurred within. No photographs of her networking. No footage of the private dinners she attended. No tabloid proof of the groundwork she laid. The public narrative could therefore be rewritten, and Meghan wrote it beautifully. For Harry, learning that this transformation wasn't organic, but engineered within those hidden walls was devastating. He realized that every detail of their supposed chance romance, from the tone of her early interviews to her body language, to her philanthropic branding, bore the fingerprint of Soho House's culture of curated authenticity. What the world saw as natural grace was, in truth, the result of years of careful preparation. The irony, of course, is that the very secrecy that once protected Meghan now raised a suspicion. Because for every member who adored her charm, another whispers about how seamlessly she navigated powerful men, how quickly she adapted to their interests, and how effortlessly she blended ambition with romance. Those whispers, once dismissed, now echo louder than ever, especially in royal circles where appearances are power. Meghan's past wasn't scandalous in the traditional sense. It was strategic. It wasn't wild behavior she concealed. It was her method,